Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Indie Business Radio, where we do your life, your business, your way. Today's show is sponsored by the Indie Business Conference. I hope you'll join me and other exciting expert guests on August 16th, 17th, and 18th in Charlotte, North Carolina for our third annual Indie Business Conference, where we'll be talking about ways to empower you to increase your earning capacity through entrepreneurship. And that's, of course, what we're all about here at Indie Business Radio. In line with our mission to empower you, we have got a great guest today. He's Jerry Hart. Jerry is the CEO of Hart Creative Marketing, and he helps organizations to successfully use the Internet to lower costs and grow profitable business ventures. He is a global speaker and a prolific writer, and the author of Blueprint to E-Marketing. He is a featured guest of Office Depot's Web Cafe, which is a series of really great webinars on marketing and business that's broadcast around the world via the Internet. And just as a little side note, his brother is Mickey Hart.
Whoa!
Gotta throw that in there. That's a fascinating little...
Yeah, really. What is that? What?
Want my guests to not just know your areas of expertise, but who you are. Welcome to the show, Jerry.
Thank you so much.
It's really great to have you.
Well,
You know, yesterday's CBS Morning Show featured a segment on how health care, retirement security, home ownership, and college expenses are increasing sources of anxiety for today's middle class. Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
What did you think about that?
I'm not surprised. You know, decades and decades we've heard that the middle class will get squeezed, right? So the news isn't the biggest surprise. I think it's just a super reality now that real people, real families are facing some major challenges with where we are in 2007, that we really need to think about multiple streams of income instead of, counting on the pension. I think we've gotten past that. I hope so. Building our own retirement and really, I think just settling down and embracing the fact that there are really good people out there that can give you the tools and strategies to create those multiple streams of income and not feel like you don't have a choice to remain calm and collective and peaceful. Have a very deep inner peace about knowing that there's a way, there's a pathway for you to add that extra $5,000-$10,000 a month so that you can not feel so hostage to that one job that you probably don't like. It's something we need to talk very seriously about.
Yeah, it's interesting. I read a statistic recently about 40% of Americans dislike their jobs.
40?
40.
Oh.
And that's probably, I would guess, an under calculation, but that's a significant number.
Oh, man.
I mean, the reasons were, they varied, but overall, from a commute to a boss who's heavy-handed, there's all kinds of things that people, deal with in their traditional work environment that people like you and this radio show are trying to empower people to do something about. So I love what you said about the experts that are out there to help people transition from that into something that they can really love. And you're one of those people. Tell us just a little bit about your Blueprint to E-Marketing book, Jerry.
And I did want to throw one thing in there, and I will. I thank you so much for that introduction. I know that a lot of people feel burned, and they've been promised pie in the sky, or, they're told it'll be handed on a silver platter, buy this, and, here comes your big chocolate cake full of frosting, and the world is great. It's really about looking for not just buying a book, Blueprint to E-Marketing, or a CD or a DVD or another program, but rather look for that ongoing mentoring. Look for that caring enough to not just give you a product, but, is there an interactive, open line of trust and relationship building with this marketer? There should be some avenue there where they're very interested in making sure you don't end up out there with their product just wandering around frustrated again, feeling like, darn it, I was a sucker. I bought this thing and now I don't know what I'm doing and I'm stressed and I'm not a technical person. And so I wanted to throw up that red flag. I don't know if that speaks to you. I think in this day and age, that's the kind of marketer I would want to be looking for to really carry me across the river. It doesn't need to be a big coaching program. We're just talking about someone that is very interested in having it's like these websites that we go to that there's no phone number or address. I mean, how interested and how interested are they in the customer service? So be looking for that open door, open line to a marketer that you're buying from. I just wanted to throw that up, and I hope that helps.
Well, and you mentioned, the contact information at the website. When you have an online business, it really is it not all about small things, small pieces that come together to form the overall online business? Yeah,
and if you can't call that marketer that you're buying from, careful. Just careful. That's all.
Yeah.
You really be. I'm really. That's that. All right. So you asked. Thank you so much. You asked about the book.
Yes. Tell us a little bit about that, and then of course we want to focus on this thing called blogging.
Oh, this thing. Yes, this major thing called blogging. Wow, it is amazing too. The book, Blueprint to E-Marketing. I spent every weekend writing, and it's a wonderful how, not a what. What does that mean? So many books say what to do, but what about the how? And that's my number one goal each day I wake up and work with clients, students. I have the pleasure of being here with you to, give away information, and hopefully that there's things people hear today that they can implement right away on their website, on their blog. That's my number one goal, right? That's what this life is all about. That's the meaning of life to me, is just, like that movie, Pay It Forward. So the book is a lot of that, where I really am coming from just, at the very least, do this. Take that first step and get your webmaster, or if you can do this for your website, and you'll see instant change, instant results. These are proven, tested, tried strategies for very, simplified entrepreneurs that do not need to hear the Ken Starr report about how to improve their marketing or some long constitution. Please.
Well, I read a statistic recently on the Internet that said there are somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 million blogs on the Internet today.
Oh, yeah.
And I know all of those aren't business-related blogs, but we're going to talk mainly about that. But first of all, Jerry, tell us, what is a blog?
Okay, a blog or weblog, it's weblog, right, a log of conversations or postings. It differs from your company website, and then it really helps you build trust. You're establishing a two-way relationship with your readers. A regular website, or what we call a static website, static is it just sort of sits there like a hood ornament or a digital business card. It's like an online brochure. But a blog site is more like a conversation with potential customers. Ooh, I like that. A conversation with potential customers. If you want to connect with your customers in a more personal way, the blog is going to help you accomplish just that. It's really short, again, for weblog, an online personal diary where anyone can reveal his or her innermost thoughts, even feelings, desires, ambitions, fears, hopes. You get the meaning here? You notice I didn't talk about technology. I talked about the human spirit and what we draw out of our soul to place out into a blog for the world to see. It's really bearing the soul of the company. Yes, it's a website.
Are you saying that blogs are a way, inefficient, I guess, because it's online, an easy way for small business owners to connect in a really personal, deep way with their customers? First,
go ahead.
No, I was just thinking about all the, other ways, the traditional ways to do that, sort of the hood ornament ways, is an About Us page and nice product photos and mission statements and things. So you're saying that a blog takes this a step further?
Yeah, it does. So you kind of went to 2 points, one sort of tactical and then one more strategic. The tactical I'll handle second, because that's describing how a blog works. The first one was more about what does it do, right? What it raises your credibility with your loyal audience. You can promote services, solution, products, books, and seminars and workshops. It's easier to sell product when you have that trust. You're developing relationships on a daily basis. It's an inexpensive, almost free marketing outlet. It's free PR. When you have a lot of people coming to your blog, the press will just end up calling you. It's becoming a standard for a successful company. One more thing on the more tactical, a blog list post, okay, they're postings where you're by date, the postings are lined up by date in a personal journal format, and it's easier to create those posts than a website. It just involves typing into a form and pushing the publish button. anyone can easily have a blog. So they give you advantages over other communication vehicles that just can't. Imagine how long it would take you to update your website. Every time you wanted to change content on your website, what would you have to do? You'd have to probably call your web designer, and then you'd have to alert your audience in an email that you've changed your website. So,
I'm listening to so many things are crucial to making a website work, and updating it regularly can be a hassle. In fact, it's the reason why so many small business websites aren't updated regularly. But you're saying you can use a blog to kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah, because, and it's a good question where you are, because should I create a blog? Should I? Why?
Yeah, let's talk about that. I'm already stressed. I'm wearing all the hats in my business.
Right, exactly.
Should I do this?
Yeah, exactly. Why? What's the point here? What's the principle? And that's really a great point for any small business owner or someone that hates their job and wants to make money online. You've got to get to some principles about, what you want. And again, there will be tools that I hope I can introduce down the road that will help you figure out how to go from what your principles are and your vision is for your life and your family and what you feel good about, doing day to day, and then finding the tools to determine if the market out there is even interested in what really turns you on. So your question was, should I create a blog? Well, once you've written content, again, can you get that content up to your site within 60 seconds? Answer is no in most cases. If you update your webpage, no one knows you've added it. That blog includes technology called RSS. And I wanted to do this first before we talk a little bit more about why you would create a blog. Please don't worry about how RSS works. Have you heard of RSS?
I have it. Is that really simple syndication?
It is, and I'll tell you what it does instead of, how it works. People subscribe to your blog, and RSS automatically updates your content to a feed reader. And a feed reader is just simply another application like Outlook that just sits on your computer. It's just a window, and the window has lots of content. Every time you add content, the reader, connects to your blog. They've already connected to your blog, and they click on an RSS button, and it comes with your blog. That's the wonderful thing about a blog. It's already there. And every time you add content, guess what happens? Their reader on their computer gets presented with that content. That's why I was saying earlier, what would it take to have someone know that you've updated your website? And could you update your website in 60 seconds? This is a new day in marketing here. This is a new day. Yeah.
What you are saying right now is so critical. It bears kind of repeating, because you were talking about having people go back and know that you updated your website. The obvious value of that is clear. And so you're saying that with a push of a button, when you update your blog, whether it's to say I got a new product or I got my hair done today, then people who have subscribed to that feed will get an email saying Jerry updated his blog today. Go read about his new hairdo.
My new hair. I have wavy hair. One waves at the other.
Or whatever it is.
Yeah, got it. Yeah. Yeah, it might even be, I finished the show today with you. I go on my blog. I talk about this wonderful article. Was it on I think it was on CBS.
CBS, yeah.
Thank you. And I talk about the middle class and the gap we're facing, the struggles of mom and dad thinking about multiple streams of income, and then, talk about, your program and how wonderful it was that we really got to the heart of the matter, no pun intended, and I was able to announce to my audience that a blog is a wonderful way to take that first step in bringing your sales and marketing efforts, lifting them by getting into a blog environment. Now, again, 5 minutes after the show, your program, I'm on my blog. 5,000 people in my database that are connected to my blog now have been alerted to what's going on right now, right this minute. And that's the world we live in, right? Everything's fast track, got to have it now. And that's how we communicate now.
So if the first thing an indie business owner, listener is thinking about is, there's only so many hours in the day, I'm already stressed. If their first question is it worth it to find some time to add this? It's the benefits will pay off. Okay, well, we're gonna go to our first break and talk a little bit about the specifics of blogging. We've decided that blogging is beneficial. We're going to talk to Jerry Hart, author of Blueprint to E-Marketing, on today's Indie Business Radio. This is Donna Maria. We'll be right back.
Why is everyone listening to GlobalTalkRadio.com? Because it's the future of talk radio. Every day, more and more people are finding Internet radio as not just an alternative media, but as a replacement to traditional AM and FM broadcast stations. Internet radio offers a wider variety of programs, convenient on-demand listening that meets your schedule, and fewer commercial interruptions. And GlobalTalkRadio.com is already leading the way by matching this content with a highly targeted Internet audience. GlobalTalkRadio.com offers its listeners one of the widest programming varieties on the Internet, from business and finance to self-improvement, paranormal, health, literature, romance, politics, and more. There are also opportunities for prospective hosts who would like to host their own weekly or one-time talk shows. Want to learn more? Check us out at www.globaltalkradio.com and see the future of talk radio today.
Welcome back to Indie Business Radio, everyone. We're here this afternoon with Jerry Hart, author of Blueprint to E-Marketing. And among other things, Jerry is an expert on what blogging can do to help you grow your business. And before our first break, we were talking about how blogging allows you to update your subscribers or your customers every time you post something to your website.
Yeah.
So, Jerry, how do you know, we've talked about how efficient it is, and yeah, that's a great thing to be able to do to update your customers. How do you know really in your heart that this is something that you can use for your particular business? Most indies that are my listeners they sell products, so it's not usually or solely services that they're selling. They're selling products. How can you use a blog, and marry your personality with that to entice your customers?
Wow, beautiful, eloquent. Yeah, it's different ways to go there. If I start with, why are they so hot right now with 100 new ones being created each day, 100,000 new blogs being created each day? There's 50 million, if not more, in existence. How do you know that how do you know you want to get into the blog sphere, right? And figure out the focus for your life, because you're going to need to maintain this blog, 30 minutes a week, an hour a week. Excuse me. And what is fascinating to you that you know with a high degree of certainty that it will still fascinate you 20 years from now? Isn't that a nice way to think about what really is your passion? Is it your business?
Yeah, and for most indies, there is a definite overlap, almost 100% between their business and their passions.
Great, and I could have started a blog on a variety of topics that interested me. I mean, computer programming, health, public speaking, but not quite enough passion, deep enough passion that I'd still want to be involved 20 years from now. Mm-hmm. After a year or two, I'd probably be bored with those topics. So, it's very good. That's why I said get connected to what really turns you on, because it's such a passionate place to bring the world to you. A blog is a tremendous marketing tool. First, they are personal and easy to publish. You can even syndicate the content. More on syndication when you're ready to go down that road, Donna, and its advantages. Second, it is online. Anyone with a web browser can access it and read what you have to say. You'd be surprised how many people automatically come to your blog, and you just can't believe where they come from. And it's all because you are committed to at least spending 3, 5, 10 minutes every day just getting connected to your own soul, your own business, and all the customers that are waiting for you out there to find you. Third, a blog is a relatively easy way to add updated content. Once you have that blog set up, you can add content as easily as just typing and hitting the publish button. I can't reinforce that enough. We'll talk about where you go to get a blog set up. And I mean a blog for dummies, and I meant that with respect and love, because I am not a technical person. I do not know how to do HTML. I run an agency, and I have designers, that help me, help us, but I want to get in and I want to make this easy. I want to enjoy the process. I don't want to get stuck in building the Taj Mahal here. Fourth, blogs are part of a vast online community, and this is really the great part about the marketing and the traffic driving and the lead generation and the public relations. It will allow for linking very easily from other common sources, and the search engines really like blogs. How many of us use MSN and Google and Yahoo? Almost every day. I do. And those search engines love blogs because they tend to get updated regularly. So search engines say, hey, anybody that's willing to play the internet game and be very invested in posting everything and anything about what they're passionate about, your business, this is what you are doing day to day. Share the word. Get online and tell your audience why you get up in the morning and what you do to turn your customers on. Why do they come back again and again? Then, once the search engines say, okay, this person's playing by the rules and they're posting on their blog, which takes no technical experience, then you can also use your blog to create links to other items you're promoting on your blog. So you asked me about, is it a great way for sales and marketing? Yeah, we can start talking about our products, having tracked links for quite a while on a variety of blogs. It is very revealing how often things that you posted a month or more ago are still getting clicked on. So just trust the process that all you need to do is just post your passion, and the world will find you. That's exactly where we are.
Do join us. We're talking to Jerry Hart, author of Blueprint to E-Marketing, and he's sharing his tips and suggestions and real just downright great information.
Great.
Small business owners who are interested in adding a blog to their website or in improving. The toll-free number to call your question or comment is 800-773-0355. Now, Jerry, some of the things that you've described, email newsletters do. Does a blog replace or complement an email newsletter?
Very, very good question. Yeah, it does. I would never, ever remove e-newsletters from your marketing. Having that constant dripping, the top-of-mind awareness, with your audience, your information will get to interested parties much more quickly than it might in your e-zine. We call it an e-zine, an e-newsletter, or by sending a press release, right? But the blog is a complement to the newsletter. You're promoting the blog in the newsletter.
Constant dripping, I like that.
Constant dripping, yes.
Constant dripping.
Drip, drip, drip. Automate the one of the most missed opportunities, and I won't digress far off of blogs, is the drip, drip, drip of emails when people come to your blog or your website and they're touching you, they're filling out a form, they're downloading a song, they're watching a webinar, they're asking for a consultation, or they're in the shopping cart and they got confused, so they said, I can't seem to buy what I want, but I'd like to stay in touch. And all of the emails that come from those touch points or those interactive touch points are the most missed opportunity by, I believe, online businesses right now. Did that make sense? It's automating the website marketing so that when customers come in and touch you, just like at a brick and mortar, it's that wonderful ability to know that anybody that came in from being a window shopper was tagged and touched, and then you ask permission to stay in touch with them. And your blog has that same strategy. Okay,
and it's automating in a personal way.
Absolutely.
Like you say, that makes it a lot more valuable. So, Jerry, let's say I've decided to start a blog. I'm ready. I'm going to carve out, a couple of hours a month for this. Where do I go to get started?
Very good, very good. And then I guess maybe we'll cover some strategies when we're ready in terms of how the blog will drive the traffic and create the PR and all that sort of thing. And the syndication, I know that's sort of a, what does syndication mean too? What do we do about building a blog, as you said and you asked? There are three major blog companies. Google owns one of the largest, Blogger, and it's free. And I'll tell you why there's a disadvantage to going with Blogger.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that it's a horrible idea because it's very easy to use, and I always like that.
That was a lot of easy, so we have to cover that.
We have to cover that. Watch out, 5 easies in a row.
Well, a lot of people just want to get their feet wet and get started and go someplace to familiarize themselves with it. But what are the other two?
The other one is WordPress, and WordPress is also free, and WordPress is great too. WordPress may not be as intuitive. If anybody sends out a newsletter that's listening to my voice online, knows what I mean when I say 1, 2, 3, click, that kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
If you do it yourself, you probably have an email newsletter system that makes it 1, 2, 3, click.
Uh-huh.
That's probably the same expectation that they have, that the listeners, I'm sure, have right now about getting in and building a blog. Gee, if I can do this newsletter, I probably can do that blog, right? I'm sure there's some of that going on, and it's true. The newsletters are easy to deliver. They've made it very easy, and now Blogger and WordPress have done the same thing. So you can be up in 10 minutes with a live blog. But again, what is the principle? Why are you there? And what about the rules? And are you really clear about how to use it as a sales and marketing tool? And again, back to the rules. You really need to know the rules, and we'll talk a little bit more about that, I'm sure.
Okay, and what's the third one?
Oh, thank you. TypePad. TypePad, like a typewriter and then pad. And TypePad is sort of for a more advanced blogger that is working inside probably a larger company, a mid-sized company, that knows a lot more about the guerrilla tactics of how the search engines value a blog, and they're able to manipulate me. And the bottom line is TypePad allows you to take the blog and put it on your server instead of their server. And that's really the major difference. And that's why one's paid and one's not. TypePad allows you to use their technology, but it's on your server, your box, your host. Wherever your website's being hosted, you would put your blog on that server, your server. So you've got better control of the content. Imagine if Blogger was bought out by, Target or Kmart, who knows, the next big company. And overnight they decided to erase everybody's content. Oops, sorry, we deleted everything. I've heard horror stories before, and that would be the only downside that I'd like to probably mention today. That you're using somebody else's server,
and it's the same with WordPress, right? You're using someone else's server,
right? So how do we get around that, Donna? You always write your postings in Word, save it, put the date on it, then you copy and paste it. Open up WordPress or open up Blogger, log into your account, easy. Copy, paste, load, publish, done.
So you save a record of your blog so that in case the servers disappear, you can go back and recreate your blog.
Right. I didn't mean to create catastrophic drama there.
No, I'm glad you mentioned it because you probably remember back in the days when email discussion groups were becoming popular. Many of them were bought by bigger companies, and when that happened, all the content disappeared.
I remember when AT&T and there was Excite, and I woke up the next morning and my email, literally, I had no inbox. My email was gone.
Right.
And they didn't warn the public. So, okay.
So that's good advice. So Blogger.com and WordPress, both free, but there's that downside that you mentioned. And then TypePad is a little bit more advanced. Can we start and just talk about, some of the principles, I guess, will they not be the same for all three in terms of using the blog for your business purposes?
So your question is more try it again one more time, please.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if, even though there are these two distinct types, that is your server or someone else's server, some of the principles of blogging, how to set up your blog to make it interesting content, are going to be similar or the same in some cases. Is that right?
That's right. Yes. So
if you have a blog, I mean, obviously you put your logo or your company name on top or whatever, and of course we've all seen blogs where they have like blog rolls and calendars, and you can add all this stuff. What are the basic, maybe 3 or 4 things, other than obviously the content, that the blog has to have to make it interesting?
Well, it's about customizing your blog, which is where I think getting some help to create a much more optimized marketing machine. It's great that you have listened to Donna and I talk about principles and not confusing your medium with your message. Blogging is just a medium, one of many creative outlets available to you. You root yourself to your message, not to any particular medium. So we're back to principles first, as Donna was saying. If you don't know what your message is, then figure that out first before you start blogging. Or you can blog about the process of discovering your message. This is how real blogging and marketing on the web is today. Talk about the discovery. Talk about that incredible, seeding and blooming within yourself about what you're learning, and share that with the audience. The days of trying to act like you have it all together and being perfect for the prospect, suspect customer, it's over. The consumers want to see the reality of what's going on behind the curtain. They want to see authenticity. They want to feel the pulse behind the company, right? Pull down that curtain and interact with us and show to us that there's real human beings working in this company that we want to buy from.
And Jerry, can you do that? Can you perform that kind of customization using Blogger and WordPress?
Thank you for that question. There's a variety of those platforms for creating your blog. I mentioned Blogger. Blogger, one of the easiest formats to use and create a blog. There's some, as I said, downsides with blog. We mentioned Blogger has been known in their zealousness to just delete blogs that they feel are spammy. So if they consider you a spammy blog, we can talk about that too. I don't know about you, but putting hours and hours into my postings, I don't want to see them disappear. WordPress is one of the open source platforms. Open source. Personally, I like using open source items. The big advantage is that there's lots of people creating plugins for them. Plugins. This allows you an easy way to customize your blog. It's the plugins that allow you to customize your blog so that it looks, very, very different from all the others. In other words, it's a little more beefed up. It's got some more meat and potatoes to it. When I say meat and potatoes, I mean audio, video. It is also constantly being updated, and that can be a detriment at times. What I mean by updated is these plugins can be updated a lot. We're now getting into the section where the basic 1.0 blog effort is there for you. You can do it in 10 minutes on Blogger. Without a doubt, get in there, get one set up, and you'll see that you can customize the colors if you want, put your logo in there. We're talking about the basics. But when it comes
then we can start with that. We're going to have to go to our second break here, Jerry.
Sure.
When we come back, we do have a question from someone about blogging, and also we want to continue the conversation for someone just getting started about how to set up a blog. This is Indie Business Radio with our guest, Jerry Hart. We'll be right back.
Want to stay on top of what's new in the radio industry? Sign up for a free subscription to the Future of Talk Radio, available exclusively to listeners of globaltalkradio.com, and find out what's new in the world of online radio. Listeners can find out about new shows and special guests. People with something special to offer can find out how to become a guest and how to prepare for an interview. And prospective hosts will find a valuable resource for everything from planning their new program to selecting topics and guests, recouping expenses by selling advertising, and more. Sign up today for your free subscription to the Future of Talk Radio by visiting www.globaltalkradio.com and learn about the future of talk radio today.
Good afternoon. We're here for our final segment of Indie Business Radio today with Jerry Hart, author of Blueprint to E-Marketing. We are talking about blogging, how to blog, why to blog, whether to blog, and all that stuff. If you have a question about blogging, you can call it in to our show toll-free, 800-773-0355. Jerry, we have an email question from someone who says, we opened up a blog, we launched it a couple of months ago, and we were hoping that it would generate traffic to our website. It has not. Do you have any suggestions? Mm-hmm. And by the way, I went to this company's homepage, and Jerry, what would you expect to see there if they did have a blog?
I would expect a very prominent banner, call to action, placement holder, something titillating, enticing that says, "Come visit our blog," and have a benefit statement. Where and think about your business. Where it's for the community, by the community. We're changing lives. We're improving X. We're all of those things that get people interested in wanting to click. So that's a no-brainer, I think.
Okay, so you can have a blog, but if you're not telling anyone about it or making it of interest, then people are just going to either miss it or not be interested enough to look at it.
How about on the back of the business card, visit our blog? So at a trade show, people are seeing it's a constant PR marketing tool that you do not get a misperception that you're going to turn on your blog and all of a sudden you're going to have, this is going to be your number one channel. It's a multiple channel approach. It's just one more channel, one more pathway. And yes, you can get traffic overnight. I'll share how to help do that, but I like what Donna said. At least put a banner, just like the freeway, right? Hello, over here. Hello.
Well, let's look at your website, for example, heartcreativemarketing.com.
On the spot. Here we go.
Well, this is good because I just went there, and what happened in addition to seeing your logo and nice graphics and things that look like there's activity here, I see right at the top, New Blueprint to E-Marketing blog.
Right.
And I suppose if I click there, I'll go to the blog, and so you've got it right there in front of my face.
Right. So what have I done? I hopefully have captured a window shopper that remember, 80% of people come to a website to never return. Those are horrible statistics. 80%, and those are our stats here from everyday websites. That means we've got to get that capture. We want to make sure we get them in and build that relationship. Get that acquisition. You want to capture leads. It's one of the major 5 pit stops on the Internet roadmap. It's number 2 of 5. Capture leads. And that's what you're doing when you put that banner, that call to action. Come enjoy our blog where we do X, Y, Z, because the newsletter could promote the blog. What about the homepage, right? The business cards could promote the blog, but what about the homepage? A lot of people come in there, right, through the front door.
Right. Jerry, we've got a caller from Missouri who has a question for you. Jan in Missouri, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Donna.
What's your question or comment for Jerry this afternoon?
I had a question about websites versus blogs. Should they be on the same host? Should the content be similar but different, or should you use your website strictly for commercial and the blog to add a more personal tag to it?
I got the first 2 questions. The last one, though, I may need to have you repeat. As
far as the website commercial, blog more personal.
So the question is it okay to have more of a personal approach on the blog with the more commercial on the website, correct?
Is there a preference for one or the other?
No, it's really about what is the strategy of the blog. If you're Boeing or Amazon, then your blog would be a very commercialized, interactive. We are allowing you to see our backside, basically. Come on in and share with us our new product releases, what you like, what you don't like. Tell us if you see, Boeing did this with their blog. When people were flying, they allowed people to talk to the web chiefs, the web designer, the webmasters of Boeing, and basically comment while they were flying on how great their blog was, their in-flight service. They were able to comment on the in-flight service that Boeing had provided while you're flying. And how else could we have done that before? Now the blogs are allowing that kind of conversation, that dialogue. It's like talk show meets journalism. So I want to make sure I fulfill you and answer your question. What is the business that you're in?
Well, I was in the marketing business with the cosmetics, and now I'm going back to my art. So it'll be just basically commercial art, commissions, that kind of thing.
Right. Are you wanting the blog to be a marketing tool to drive traffic to your business?
A little bit. There's a variety of people who purchase art online, and now I'm all online rather than having a storefront. And just a website, sometimes people will look at it and then click off it and just go to something else if they don't see what they want. So I did put up a blog, but I'm just still a little in the dark about how I want it to run.
Right. When you say how you want it to run, a little more specific, you mean, again, back to principles and vision and strategy, and what do you want out of it?
A little bit, as you were just saying about Boeing. they were using it as a very interactive tool,
Yeah.
but separate from a website.
Yeah, separate from a website. Yeah, because the website doesn't allow that instant availability to connect through RSS and be able to post the questions as rapidly. You know, it's so cool to have the car already built for you, the vehicle's already designed to create that interactive environment. So this is the part of what a marketer would do to work with you to establish what's the brand, right? What is the positioning? What is the message? What's in it for them? What's in it for you? And are we looking to do PR? Are we looking for marketing? Are we looking for better customer service? Is this just a tool like Boeing used, not for sales, but just to show the world that, you know, we have an open pipeline to you. This isn't, you know, we want to hear from you. You're driving our company. If it wasn't for you, your voice, we wouldn't be here. So, you know, post your questions, post your comments on the blog. And then what happens? You grab the comments, you grab the questions. It becomes new fodder, new conversation that gets posted again and then RSS'd out to all those new people that have connected to your blog. So that's what it is. It's so genuine and it's so real and it's just not fabricated. You know, and I can hear in your voice that you're coming from a very authentic place. Am I right?
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, you really want to write from your heart on this blog, and then I would highly encourage you, since you've got a commercial website, correct? It's mostly commercial.
Yes.
I would really, really incentivize you to go out and find the blogs that have that same combination, where you can sense that you've got the same type of decision makers that you are, or constituents, that have blended that commercial vibe or position on their blog, and they're also talking about some of the art. Is it artistic work that you're doing?
Sculpting.
Yeah.
Sculpting.
Yeah, so I really invite you to go build relationship. Email the blog master of that blog and say, I really love this post. This was very powerful. It's so powerful, I'm going to post it on my blog today.
Okay.
And then that blogger does what? He says, great, I'll link to that post. I really appreciate you talking about our blog. What happens? The next day, they're writing about what you posted, and before you know it, you've got thousands of people from their blog coming to you because you did what? You stepped out of this busy day-to-day stuff that we do. You calmed down. You looked at the reality of Internet marketing, and you said, it's about people. It's about relationship. So I'm going to email this blogger that I really am appreciating and share that with them, and before I know it, hundreds of people are going to be landing at my blog tomorrow because I'm absolutely authentic.
Dan, thank you so much for that question. I hope that was helpful. You know, Jerry, it makes me think about one company. I can't remember where they are or anything, but I remember talking with the owner of this company who creates signage. He's a graphics artist and a woodworker. He creates signage for businesses. And he was struggling with how to show his customers the signs that he had created. So he started a blog, and the function of the blog it functions like this. You know, April 16th, 2005, we just did this great sign for Jerry Hart's business. Here's a picture of it. Isn't it wonderful?
Real.
And then, you know, maybe talk about some new color that he mixed or some new graphics thing or woodworking thing that he did for you. And then people come there. It gets him new customers. It gets him his colleagues link to his, and he links to theirs about the signs they've created. And so it kind of makes me think about what Jan's initial question seemed to involve, and that is the purpose for having a blog in the first place.
Absolutely. You know,
is this a good analogy, Jerry?
Absolutely. What is that, Donna? It's free content, isn't it? Isn't he posting real life, real passion, real stories?
Yeah.
And it's free content. So by providing premium content free, you can normally get 20 new links backlinked to your blog every day. It's very, very possible if you're, you know, after a month or two of posting, and you don't have to do it every single day. You can actually archive your postings and have the blog post it for you. Just set it on a schedule, like a sprinkler timer.
Yes, you don't always have to be there. That's
you can Saturday morning, load up 20 little posts for the month, and you can walk away and let the marketing work for you. So people refer others because they know the content is good and free. You just said that about your friend. His name, Steve? No. Forgot the gentleman.
I couldn't remember. It was just someone that I sort of met along the way during the radio show. And by the way, if anybody's got a question or comment for Jerry, you can call him toll free 800-773-0355. We still have a few minutes left. Jerry, let's go back to your website.
Okay.
Your blog. And by the way, everyone, Jerry's website is a vast resource of materials and free articles. He just talked about free and easy. At heartcreativemarketing.com. You'll see a white paper there about the 5 essential steps to effective web measurement and also information about how you can get his book. But when we click on this blog link, Jerry, we're taken to another website which is called blueprintmarketingblog.com. Mm-hmm. That dovetails with the name of your book. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's at the marketing thing there, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's just take a quick look in the little bit of time we have left and see what's here and what is the function of some of the things that you have decided to include on your blog.
Great. Let's talk about, again, being patient. There's a lot of great stuff on the blog. It looks like, oh, wow, how do I do this? But I really wanted to make sure that we're clear. Be patient, long-term approach to what you're looking at there. You can get a blog set up, but to have it reap the reward as a marketing, PR, customer service tool, there's a tipping point here. Over time, so much traffic accumulates, and that's from social networking. It's like the Time Magazine article that said, person of the year, it's you. You are driving this very patient, incremental, over time, and the more people that bookmark a blog or page in one day, the higher the blogs or pages will be ranked in the search engine. So know that you're automatically getting a blog with Blogger or WordPress. The software keeps you from making serious mistakes. Keywords stay as text instead of all I'm saying is it's a very controlled environment for you. So what you're seeing there is an already built-in house that's got all the hallways and the bedrooms and the kitchen all laid out for you so that you don't make the same mistakes people make when they build a website. Have you ever been to a website and you're like, oh, my goodness, looks like somebody's uncle's nephew did this one?
Well, a lot of times, unfortunately, that's true. But it's really great to know that maybe there's a couple of tips that you can offer for people to help them to avoid that, and we just have about 1 minute left.
Great. I would certainly allow people to leave comments for you. That's a powerful way to get interaction. Let me see if I can give you a definitely putting using a blog and having AdSense on your blog. AdSense is a great way to make money with a blog. You can go to Google and they'll tell you how to do that. It's your webmaster can help you.
I've heard some marketing experts say that AdSense is, and I guess there's obviously lots of different expert opinions, but that AdSense kind of takes away from the content at a blog and sends customers away from your blog to perhaps competitive sites that may not be complementary.
Right, and there are you can find out from by reading educating on blogs when it's appropriate or not. How it's positioned on the page is usually when it's a turnoff. Isn't that generally the case with most? It's all about presentation. Mm-hmm. So if your ads are very intrusive, it can or not relevant, which Google makes sure they're relevant, that would be, a lot of people wait months and months and months before they put ads on their blog because they have no desire in any way to create a monetized atmosphere or saleable atmosphere.
Right, and I see you've got that all-important RSS feed notation here. Let's talk about that as we close out the show, Jerry.
Yep. And that's available to you through when you set up your blog. You can add that RSS button there. Feed Blitz is a great way to build a subscriber list from new visitors who come to your blog. You're writing from the heart, right? Interesting content. The world will find you if you write what you're passionate about. They click that RSS button that comes with your blog, and before you know it, you have a permission-based, ongoing relationship with your blog reader.
That's a great way to conclude our show today. Permission-based, communicating with your customer. Jerry, we can learn more about you at heartcreativemarketing.com. Can you tell us where we can meet you in person, any seminars or webinars?
Yeah, thank you so much. I wanted to first announce heartcreativemarketing.com/myblogbuilder, myblogbuilder, which will give you a couple of options. One would be where I could help build your blog for you, build the brand, build the principles with you, and help you with a roadmap so that you're achieving the milestones that you intended to achieve. That would be heartcreativemarketing.com/myblogbuilder.
What a fantastic resource for people who really want to delve into this and do it right. Jerry, I'm so excited to have had you on the show today. I want to remind everyone to go to heartcreativemarketing.com/myblogbuilder. And while you're there, you can see some great information about blogging and also some of Jerry's tips on blogging and his great service that he offers to help you avoid making the mistake of someone who throws up a blog and just hopes and prays that it performs some sort of business function for them. Thank you for telling us about that, Jerry.
Donna, can I mention one more? Wealth 2007, is that possible?
Wait, just give us a website because we've got to close.
Wealth, as in wealth money, 2007.com/free. Wealth2007.com/free. Wealth2007.com/free. We can all remember that. We'll all check it out, Jerry. Thank you so much for being on the show, and thank you, my listeners, for joining me today on Indie Business Radio. This is Donna Maria. We'll be back next week with another great show. Have a great week, guys.
You're listening to GlobalTalkRadio.com.